Hello, and welcome to you. Today we are going to be doing a Chinese astrology reading for the monkeys. So, give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so Hello. I am Shoshana Spotted Corn. I am a spiritual consultant and energy reader. I do not work with tarot and I do not work with the New Age. I simply work with medicine cards and positive affirmation cards. This is just a collective reading, so it's not going to resonate with everybody. I simply read the loudest energy and the loudest story that wants to be expressed. Thank you so much for being here today. Today we're going to be discussing our beloved monkeys from the Chinese astrology wheel. So I am fascinated by all kinds of astrology. Western is probably my least favorite. I really like Vedic astrology, Chinese astrology, and Native American astrology right now because it has been the most accurate and the most predictive. So let's go ahead and begin with monkeys. So if you are here, you were born when? When was the year of the monkey born? So let's see. Let's take a look at our little list. 1920, 1932, 1944, 1956, 1968, 1980, 1992, 2004, 2016. And the next one will be 2028. Wow. The future monkey of 2028 is going to be an earth element monkey. It seems like it has like this revelation vibe behind it. Like I think that's going to be one powerful monkey. So let's go over the list now. For those of you who don't know, if you were born in 2016, you represent the fire element. If you were born in 2004, you represent the wood element. 1992, water. 1980, metal. 1968, earth. 1956, fire. 1944, wood. We are calling upon the beautiful energy of nature in its most organic form. We're also calling upon the collective of our highest self. What advice do we have for monkeys for the year of 2024 that had not started for some people? For Western people, 2024 has already begun. For Indigenous people, the new year is in March. And for most Asian cultures, the New Year's starts in February. I'm just going to pull them all out now and then discuss them later. All right, monkeys. So I feel like in 2000, oh my gosh, let's just say this coming year. In this coming year, you are coming in with this realization, with this epiphany, with this awareness, with this wisdom. And that wisdom that the monkeys are coming in with this year is in alignment with the divine order. How we are supposed to be coming in, fully aware that there are consequences to everything. So for some reason, I feel like there's two groups. Not here. I feel like most of the people that are here that are monkeys are pretty, their intentions are pretty high vibe, but there are monkeys. There's two kinds of monkeys. There's the lower vibrational monkeys and the higher vibrational monkeys. And the lower vibrational monkeys can get into a lot of chaos. And hopefully, most monkeys will use that intuition that tells them that there's going to be consequences this year, because monkeys need to simplify their lives. That is the best way that I can put it. So what fascinates me is the difference of energy with the signs, where like the last sign that I did a reading for was the complete opposite as you. So the dragon, for example, has to be doing multitasking. Multitasking is extremely important to the dragon's happiness, for example. But for you, you would think that it's the same, but it is not. You have to keep things simple this year. You know, I don't know about all the other years, but for this year, you have to keep things simple and do the complete opposite of multitasking. I mean, of course, the like little simple multitasking is fine, but anything that has to do with like big decisions or big projects, big hobbies, it's very important for you this year to keep things simple. And of course, you might get bored. Of course, you might get a little bored, and you might get a little restless, angry, but you're just going to have to accept that, because for as long as you keep things simple, you are going to feel more in control, and you are going to be able to observe more and learn more about prevention of a further loss in a particular area. So even though it might be a little boring, it is very important for you to keep things simple, because that is going to create your serotonin and dopamine levels to go up in a way that you never knew was possible, because you were always enjoying throwing a bunch of projects on your lap, but you realized that something failed, and if you don't want to fail again, keep things simple. Keep things simple. And I mean this in all areas of your life, like not just your finances, your career, your investment, your hobbies, every area of your life. Keep it simple. Don't make things complicated, because it is the opposing force. It's the opposing force that wants to complicate things for you and wants to lure you into doing things the complicated way. So it's important for you to say no a lot this year. This year is a no year for you. You know, people invite you here, people invite you here. Like for some crazy reason, which I love to call the opposing force, because this is just how the opposing force functions. It knows and is very particular, and it knows that people vary. So the opposing force will vary according to the person that it attacks. You know, we're always being attacked by the opposing force, and we have to be like a martial art like martial artists to say, no, you're not going to oppose what I need to get done because I'm going to get it done smoother. I'm going to get it done smoother. And what does the opposing force want to do? It wants to complicate things. It wants to make you feel angry and frustrated. And then you're not doing what you wanted to do to begin with. So the opposing force is going to kind of be at your back this year. And as long as you are aware that that opposing force is there, then you just practice saying no to people, saying no to invitations. Have you noticed that every time that you are doing something extremely important to towards your primary purpose, for example, let's say like whatever it is that you're doing that is extremely important, you get interrupted. The phone rings. Someone's at your door. You need a charger. It's always at that moment. That is the opposing force. The opposing force that does not want to see you succeed. There's always this opposing force that wants to see people's failure. So you are going to have to practice to say no to people's invitations. 90% of invitations this year, just say no. You have many projects that you need to take care of. This is a combination of purposes and a combination of investments, maybe some education there too. Some energy upgrading. You're doing your thing. Put your phone on airplane mode. Put it on silent mode when you're doing things that are very important. If you don't need anything from your phone, grab whatever you need from your phone and then turn the phone off. You're at something, it's like you're almost going to solve this puzzle, and it's so important for you to be grounded, alone, and in reflection. I haven't even got to your cards yet, by the way. I'm not looking at the cards. I haven't even started with the cards. When you finish the projects that you're working on, or you succeed at a few of the projects that you're working on, you will be the one who's going to invite people out. And you're going to get on the phone and you're going to be like, oh, okay, this person invited me out on this day. I'm going to get on the phone. And now I finished my projects. I finished my hobbies. I finished my homework. I finished very important things I needed to get done. Now I'm going to reach out to that person that was inviting me the other day. I'm going to call them and say, hey, I'm available. Let's go out. Things have to kind of be on your terms this year for whatever reason. And it's going to be a little bit outside of your nature, or you're going to feel a little bit outside of your nature, but it's just going to prevent stress and unnecessary complications, as well as unnecessary motivational breaks, when you're feeling motivated and then something just breaks your motivation because you got interrupted or distracted. So those are the kind of things that you need to be aware of, okay? So let's go ahead and start with the cards now. The first card that we have is going to be the physical work. What is the physical work that Monkey needs to work on? And this is fitting for the messages that I felt I needed to share with you. This is all about a self identity, a sense of self identity, picking up your real identity. Monkey people have a really bad habit of showing themselves as someone that they are not, simply because they think that that is what is expected of them. So you tend to kind of show a couple characteristics here and there that are not really yours. And in this year, it's really important for you to look at yourself and feel more comfortable in your own identity and in your own spiritual belief system. Because a lot of times we will feel forced to believe or not believe in something because we were brought up that way, because we were surrounded by it or not surrounded by it. So it's very important for you to get comfortable with your own identity and do not modify yourself for anyone. I want you to choose your own default mode. You know, your default image when you go out into the street. I want you to choose that image for yourself, as opposed to what image you think other people want to see, especially for the younger ones. For the inner work, we have crying for a dream. Is there a way that you can go camping? With a small group of people? Or maybe by yourself, where there's no substance use? Just being quiet and listening to the stream of unlimited information that nature provides. And for your spiritual advice, we have the sacred mound. Do you have an altar in your home? Do you have an altar in your home where you can put things on the altar that you believe are sacred? Maybe a little altar where you can put your Bible, some flowers, some frankincense and myrrh, light-colored feathers, a place where you can kind of surrender to. There's also Tibet singing bowls that are very helpful for purifying rooms. So this year's ultimately going to be about quieting the mind and getting things done. For some reason, I feel like you're going to have issues with anger. What are you so angry about? I understand that life can make people very angry, but the thing is, that is the opposing force. That is the opposing force that wants to make people angry by charging for everything, right? Always charging for something. We have working on grounding yourself. What we were discussing. Grounding yourself. Sitting down quietly more often. Not going out so much. It seems like a lot of you have been going out to distract yourself, and that's one of the worst things you can do, is to distract yourself from the issue instead of dealing with the issue. And your issue is internal, and there's nothing wrong with that. For a lot of you, you're going to be closer to God this year. You're going to feel like there's a relationship between you where you realize that everybody else lets you down. Everybody else betrays you. But the higher power is always there. The higher power is always there. We have citrine. Citrine is one of the best stones for you to wear this year that will purify all negativity. Citrine is a very underrated stone. It's, in my opinion, one of the most powerful stones because it does not need to be smudged. It smudges itself by its own energy. And it's not really talked about a lot, but citrine, preferably the untreated. I don't know if I like the treated so much. The treated one, I believe, is usually darker. But untreated, just raw citrine, that will help you call things out in your life. There's a lot of shadiness going on in your life that doesn't have to do with you. It has to do with other people. And people in terms of your social circle. In terms of your social circle, you are a source of amusement to your social circle, and that's not always a good thing. What you are passionate about, or what you may suspect to be your primary source of purpose, it's like people around you are not going to be supportive. For most of you, you're going to discuss it a little bit and you're just going to get naysayers, a lot of naysayers around you, whether it's your friends or family that are just going to be in disagreement with what you want to do that means a lot to you. And that, again, is the opposing force. When you are surrounded by naysayers, that's how you know it's an opposing force. A lot of times whenever I make big decisions, if it surrounds a lot of naysayers, then that's what I go for. I go for the things that everybody says no to, because I know that it's the opposing force that doesn't want certain things to take place that are supposed to for you. And sometimes you have to go at it alone. Okay, we have face and embrace all parts of yourself. For some of you, there's going to be someone in your life this year that's going to understand you and support you. That can turn into something romantic, most definitely. So maybe your friends and your family will let you down, but you might find someone this year or already have someone in mind that understands you. And that is so important and so precious in this life, to find someone that understands our soul. It is very rare these days. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more card for the monkey people. Let's do a color. How about color? I was going to do one of those, but I want to do color as the last card for you. Okay, we have cherry. So what color do you need to incorporate more into your life this year? The color cherry. This could also be eating more cherries, but ultimately living an extraordinary life. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, live an extraordinary life this year.